Hi everybody, thank you for joining my channel. Please don't forget to subscribe. That's going to be the red R towards the bottom right. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to replace the encoder on a Ri1000. Okay, if you guys have any error codes, any issues, please contact Ricoh Tech Support. You want to make sure you start a case, do troubleshooting with the techs. You don't want to avoid any kind of warranties. Okay, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started by replacing the encoder on the Ri1000. So if your screen looks like mine, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to go to our maintenance menu. Next, we're going to select regular maintenance. And we're going to press yes. What that's going to do, it's going to shift your carriage over towards the center of the printer. As you can see, my carriage here is over here to the center. Now, in case you can't get the carriage to move to the center using the touch panel, we're going to go ahead and release it as well, manually. Okay, to release it manually, what we're going to do, we're going to make sure the printer is completely off. So the first thing we're going to do here, we're going to hold the power button for about 4 or 5 seconds. The machine is going to prompt us to shut it down. We're going to go ahead and shut that down. Now remember, before replacing the encoder, make sure your printer is off from the front and also from the back switch. Okay, now that the printer is off, I'm going to go over here towards the right side of the printer. And I'm going to go towards my maintenance station. You're going to see a little piece of plastic down here. It's a little flag, it has a little arrow on it. We're going to rotate this counterclockwise to the 3 o'clock position, or until it becomes leveled with the sensor right here. At this point, we can carefully move the carriage over towards the center of the printer. We're going to get 2 pieces of a shop towel or a paper towel. We're going to place 1 piece over here on the right. Now, it needs to go above the rod, but underneath the encoder and the belts. Now, we're doing this to prevent any grease from getting into that encoder when we remove it. So once you got one on the right side, we're also going to place 1 here on the left side. Once again, you're going to make sure that that towel goes above the rod, but underneath the encoder. Okay. Once that's in place, on the left side of the machine, you're going to see a small stainless steel plate. It's a little tensioner right here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to move that tensioner over towards the right by carefully pushing on it. And I'm going to unhook my encoder from the back end over here. Just going to unhook that. Next, I'm going to go to the left side of my printer and I'm going to unhook it on the left side. There's going to be a little tab right here. Just going to go ahead and unhook that end. Now I'm going to go towards the right side of my printer and I'm going to carefully pull the encoder out, making sure it doesn't snag on anything. Alright. Now, if you have a brand new encoder, some of the things you want to look at, on the encoder, one of the ends or one of the corners will have a little notch. Mine has a little black mark, but if yours is the steel encoder, one corner will be notched off or cut off. That piece needs to go facing downward, and you're going to feed it from the left side of the printer towards the right. So I'm going to go ahead and feed my encoder through. There's going to be a rectangle opening on your carriage right underneath the print lines where that encoder feeds in through. As you can see here, with one hand I'm keeping the encoder up, the other hand I'm using to feed it through. You want to make sure your hands are completely washed when doing this, and you're going to carefully guide it through. Now if you feel the encoder touching something, pull back a little bit and then continue pushing forward. Okay, I'm going to reach over my carriage to feel for my encoder, and I can feel that it's gone across already. So I'm going to carefully pull it across towards the right side. Okay. Once on the right side, I'm going to go ahead and hook my encoder on the right side, making sure you grab the encoder from the solid part. You don't want to grab the part that's smashed or colored. You want to make sure you grab your encoder from the solid part. There we go. Okay, once that side is hooked on, I'm gonna go over towards the right side of the printer, and I'm gonna carefully pull on it again. Make sure you grab the solid part of the encoder, don't grab the inside mesh part. You're gonna give it a little bit of tension. Okay. Again, I'm gonna push my little tab towards the right, and I'm gonna hook my encoder on my tensioner bracket. Okay, once that's in place, I'm gonna push down my paper towels and pull them out from the inside of the printer out to prevent any grease from getting onto that encoder. Okay, once you got the encoder in place, we're gonna double check it, make sure there's no smudges on it, there's no bend marks, nothing got damaged. Okay, mine looks good. So now I'm gonna go ahead and close my cover, and I'm gonna turn my unit back on, starting from the back, and then from the front, holding that power switch for a couple of seconds. Once the light starts to blink blue, it's going to be turning on. Alright, thank you guys for joining us. Once again, please, if you guys have any error codes, contact Ricoh Tech Support. Start a case with them. You don't want to avoid any kind of warranties by doing this by yourself and not having a tech presence, or at least getting some guidance from one of the Ricoh techs. Alright guys, don't forget to subscribe. Once again, that's the red R on the bottom right of the screen. Thank you for joining us.